Thank you, Catherine, for warning me about my neighbors. Next up is Adam Lamb and Steve Mayer.
Yes.
Oh, let's grab the Asian first. Wow, we haven't even started yet.
Hi, everybody.
Awesome.
Well, we're just going to be doing a little short duet skit, so enjoy it and laugh.
Unless you guys want to keep cheering for us, and we can just keep standing here, and by all means keep doing that. Alright, yeah, we should Alright. Yeah.
No.
Good day, and welcome to today's performance of the complete works of William Shakespeare by the Reduced Shakespeare Company. Now, I have a few announcements before we get underway, so listen up. Please refrain from eating, drinking, or smoking anything during the performance. Should this theater experience a sudden loss of pressure, oxygen masks will drop from the ceiling. Simply fasten the mask around your nose and mouth and breathe normally. If you have a small child with you, please make sure you put your own mask on first. And let the little bugger fend for himself!
Now, before we start off with Shakespeare's comedies, we're going to begin with his tragedies. And by tragedies, I mean comedies.
Now, the Reduced Shakespeare Company is taking the rate of condensing all 16 of Shakespeare's comedies into a single play entitled The Comedy of Two Well-Measured Gentlemen, lost in the merry wives of Venice on a midsummer's 12th night in winter.
Or Pericles taming the merchant atop the tower of whichever you would like it to be.
Or Four Weddings and a Transvestite. Comedy?
Comedy.
Comedy. Act 1! A Spanish duke swears an oath of celibacy.
And turns over his kingdom to his evil, tyrannical, sadistical twin brother.
The duke then learns some fantastical feats of
Magic!
How does he do that?
A good magician never reveals his secrets.
He then sets sail for
The golden age of Greece.
along with his daughters.
3 sets of
Beautiful,
virginal.
identical twins. Giggity, giggity, giggity.
While robbing the heel of Italy, the Duke's ship is caught in a tempest.
Casting the Duke up on a desert island, along with the most beautiful and virginal of his daughters.
All right. The daughter then stumbles into a cave where she's molested by a creature who is either a man, a fish, or both.
Act 2! The long-lost children of the Duke's brother, also coincidentally 3 sets of identical twins, have just arrived in Italy.
Though still possessed of an inner nobility, they are ragged, destitute, penniless, flea-infested shadows of the men they once were, and the utmost extremity
Are forced to borrow money from an old Jew
Shabbat Shalom.
who deceives them into putting down their brains as collateral on the loan.
Mazel tov, you schmuck. Meanwhile, the 6 Spanish brothers
Hola, mamacita!
fall in love with 6 Italian
And
sisters.
this is how we're gonna do it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Uno, dos, tres, seis. I know you want me because I want ya. I know you want me because I want ya. 3 of the daughters are precocious shooters, while the other 3 are submissive, airheaded bimbos.
I can see Russia from my house.
Act 3! The 5 remaining daughters of the Duke wash up on the shores of Italy.
Disguise themselves as men and become pages to the shrews and matchmakers to the Duke's brother's sons. They lead the party into a forest where, on a midsummer's night, a group of mischievous fairies squeeze the aphrodisiac juice of a hermaphroditic flower into the bimbo's eyes. Oh, my eyes!
Causing them to fall in love with their own pages. Who in turn have fallen in love with the Duke's brother's sons. Adios.
Meanwhile, the queen of the fairies
Seduces a jackass, and they all have a lovely bisexual animalistic orgy. Act 4! The elderly father of the Italian sisters, finding his daughters missing, dispatches a message to the pages, telling them to kill any man in the vicinity. I want you to make him an offer he can't refuse.
However, unable to find any men in the forest,
the messengers, in a final misguided act of loyalty, deliver the message to each other
and kill themselves. Meanwhile, the Duke and the fish-like creature arrive, disguised as Russians, and perform an underwater version of Uncle Vanya. Act 5! The Duke commands the fairies to right their wrongs.
the pages of the bimbos get into a knockdown, drag-out fight in the mud. Cat fight!
During which, the pages' clothes get ripped off, revealing female genitalia. The Duke then recognizes his daughters.
Ew!
Yeah.
The Duke's brother's sons recognize their uncle.
One of the bimbos goes up to be governor of Alaska.
Don't you know?
And the rest get married and go out to dinner.
Well, except for a minor character in the second act who gets eaten by a bear.
And the rest live happily ever after. Well, ladies and gentlemen, while we were researching Shakespeare's comedies, we discovered that they're not very funny. And in fact, Shakespeare's tragedies are much more funnier. So, it is our honor to present to you today one of Shakespeare's greatest tragedies of all time, Othello!
What?
Hamlet.
Dude, we actually have a bit of a problem performing Othello because, as you know, the part is written for a black actor. And we're not, well, we're
racially challenged.
yeah, basically is what we are. So the bottom line is, due to physical limitations, we're not going to perform Othello.
Steve.
What?
Well, just because we're not black doesn't mean we can't do Othello. I have an idea. Just kind of go along with it. Here's a story of a brother by the name of Othello. He liked white women and he liked green jello.
Oh yeah. And the punk named Iago, who made himself a menace because he didn't like Othello.
The Moor of Venice. And Othello got married to Desdemona.
He took her for the wars and he left her alone.
It was a Mona.
Drona. He left her alone. He didn't write a letter and he didn't telephone her.
Out at the pub.
Sipping my bud.
Ain't gonna reach me on my telephone.
Just a moment, she was faithful, she was chastity tight. She was the daughter of a duke.
Yeah, she was totally white.
And Iago loved Desi like Adonis loved
And
Venus.
Desi loved Othello because he had a big sword.
And Iago say, I'm gonna shaft the more.
How you gonna do it? Tell me more.
Well, I know his strength flaws that he's too damn jealous.
I need a dupe, I need a dope, I need a kind of a
So
schmo.
he fights a chum sucker by the name of
And he
Cassio.
plants on him Desi's handkerchief.
And Othello gets to wondering just maybe if, well, he's been out fighting.
Commanded an army.
Are Desi and Cass playing hide the salami? Salami! Chicken dance!
Yo, so he comes back home and sticks a pillow in her face.
He kills her and soliloquizes about his
And
disgrace.
there's Amelia at the door.
We met in Act 4.
Say, you big dummy.
You are no whore. She was pure. She was clean. She was vaginal too. So I can't go and make her face turn blue. It's true.
It's you.
Now what you gonna do?
And Othello said, yo, this is getting pretty
So he
scary.
pulled out his blade and committed Harry Carey.
Do that funky Morrison white boy. And Iago got caught, but he probably caught the flea
Loaded up his
and
bags.
moved to Beverly
Hills, that is.
Africa. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was almost the complete works of William Shakespeare, but due to lack of time, lack of energy, and lack of interest, we're gonna cut it short. If you liked us, tell your friends. And if you didn't, tell your enemies. I'm Adam.
I'm Steve.
And this has been the complete works of William Shakespeare by the Reduced Shakespeare Company.